Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Hey, Hare Krishna, welcome. All right, we're going to start out in the car and then we'll move into the motorhome a little bit. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Let's chant a little bit and we'll move into the motorhome soon. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. It's a 347. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Yeah, I mean, if you want, just go do it live yourself and share the revelations. They can. It's up to you. Sometimes you may forget or something. So you can do it now if you want. Just come back afterwards. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. So I'm just going to go in and tell her that it's time to get up, and I'll be back here. So we're going to go back and forth for a little bit. Okay, so I'll be right back. So everybody continue to chant their little japa, and I'll go wake her up. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Oops. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Krishna Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Nityananda 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Okay, we'll go into the Buddha room. All right. Let me try the car out this morning. It was nice. It's a little roomy little thing. Good morning, everybody. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Sleep good?
I do.
All right. Yeah. Good enough.
You get what you need.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gora Bhaktavinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, yes. Okay, let me get the microphone out here. Okay. Now I gotta do this, though. I have to take this. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 See if that's any better. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Yeah, that one and the chocolate thing. Awesome. Or actually the cream and the chocolate one. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. No, I changed my mind. The chocolate both of them. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Use it up. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Ooh, yeah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda. A little bit of honey in there too. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda. 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. You like chanting low?
I don't want to disturb you.
Oh, no. You chant loud.
No, I can.
No. You should chant regular. Otherwise, it's good, really. It's fine now. I don't need to, don't, you're not disturbing me. Chant regular, okay? Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Yes, we'll chant the Lord's names here for you, with you in mind there, Lance, and see what happens. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Oh Krishna Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari Rama Whoa! Krishna Hari Rama Whoa! Krishna Hari Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari 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 Hari Rama Hari Hari Krishna. There's no need for separate mantras. If your faith is strong and conclusive, all incarnations are in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. All the incarnations, Nishingadev, all of them. That's conclusiveness. That's it. Or Lord Chaitanya, all the incarnations. The Lord, it depends. If you want to chant Nishingadev's mantra, great. It's all according to your faith. But conclusively, you can just chant Hare Krishna or, Lord Chaitanya's name. I like both, and especially Lord Chaitanya seems to, get all the obstacles out of the way for chanting for me. So it's all according to your faith. So you don't have to have all these separate mantras and all these different things. The Lord, all the incarnations, Jesus Christ even, is inside Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna. All of them. Every single one of them. So you don't need a whole bunch of different mantras, if your faith is strong. If it's not so strong or your tendency's not that way, chant Lord Nishingadev. He's God, So either way, you don't have to, but it doesn't have to be a big discussion, all the big mantras and all that. Just start chanting, Try to figure out all these things. Everything's inside Krishna and Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. Everything. It's all there. You can be rest assured you chant their names and you're going to get Nishingadev, you're going to get them all. They'll tackle the whole situation. All of the incarnations. You get them all instead of just one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari Hari Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari Hari Krishna Hari Hari Rama Hari Hari Krishna. The only difference is, there is one difference. In Lord Chaitanya kills the demons in a more gentle way. Is a more palatable way. By basically melting them. Krishna Hari Rama Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna. Not a bunch of blood and tentacles. What are those? Intestines all over the place. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna, 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 Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari, Hari. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Whoa, yeah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Satyanandana. Woo! Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda. Whoa. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda. Whew. Nityananda, Nityananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Whoa! Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Oh, yeah. These things are. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gora Bhaktivinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Gora Bhaktivinda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Oh Lord, my Lord. Whoa! Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Whoa! Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda. Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda. Oh, Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Oh, Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Oh, Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Whoa, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Again. Krishna, can you give me that 10th canto, whatever I was reading before? Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, it's over there? Okay, I'll pull it over here. Great, thank you. Oh, look at this. Appreciating Vrindavan Dham. Maybe we'll take a look inside this book. Yeah. The answer is transcending this whole situation, you know. I was just thinking, you know, the test for all the world and all of us, if we have the real shelter of God, the real transcendental shelter, we'll be able to get through this. Otherwise, it's getting so weird, you know, it's so much deceit and deception now. And people who believe in the deception will go under that. And the people that are in the truth will be able to see it. Some people will be able to see it, but won't be able to do much about it. You know, but we can transcend it, man, like this. It becomes, you know, just like the test for the Christians. The test for the Christians were the Romans. You know, they just put them to death and everything, and they just, you know, that's the body, man. We have a spiritual body, you know, and they weren't concerned. And that's it, man. Really, the bottom line. because that may happen again. I mean, they already have all kinds of weird shit set up. Yeah. So it's just is what it is. But the thing is, it's an opportunity to transcend this and help others transcend it. Whoever wants to take shelter where there's an authorized station of transcendence, like you gotta have that portal, the place to beam you up. You have to have that beam up station. This is one of them. It might be the only one for the Vaishnavas. I don't know. Do you see anybody worshiping in this kind of ecstasy? This is the zone, man. This is where it's all going. So it may very well be one of the only places. And the test will be, you'll see, how many people are getting through this as Vaishnavas, Are they really getting through it? Or are the leaders buckling? Because this is the only thing that can strengthen us, strengthen the devotees, is this level of consciousness. See, this is above the good and evil of this world. Can you see that? It's above the good and evil. It's a whole nother level of existence. And it's like God is forcing his hand, it's like, saying, well, there's good and evil in the world, so take a side. He even said, a lot of people say, you got to pick a side. So a lot of people say, well, I'll go and fight this, or I'll go and surrender to this, even though they don't even know they're surrendering to it a lot of times. Believing that, So this is the other alternative. This is another side. Transcendence. Okay, just read some. So this is Lord Krishna shows the universal form. This is Canto 10, Chapter 8, Verse 9. So we start where we left off. Kamsa is both a great diplomat and a very sinful man. Therefore, having heard from Yogamaya, the daughter of Devaki, that the child who will kill him has already been born somewhere else, having heard that the 8th pregnancy of Devaki could not bring forth a female child. See, so Kamsa was a diplomat and a sinful man. See, sinful, everybody's going to have sin, but the way to get free of sin is you got to take shelter of Krishna. So when Krishna was here, you could do it directly. He was there. He's a person. He was alive. And now in unmanifest form, people are trying to take shelter of Krishna, but maybe they're not. You got to reach the point of ecstasy to really have the shelter. That's the shelter of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya would tell people, go to Vrindavan and chant the holy name, and very soon you'll get the shelter of Krishna. Okay, what is that shelter? Shelter is this communion, the ability to be lifted up. Like a gender had his, trunk. Lift me up. See, the Lord came down and lifted him up. See, that's that at that stage of communion with the Lord, it's very ecstatic and very beautiful and very transcendent to all of this. Your consciousness is raised above the good and evil of the world. You notice people? Their consciousness is hovering in good and evil here. This is really evil. Or this is, and we must overcome this. And the evil, they're very twisted, and they think they're good, actually. I was listening to one of these guys, the Fauci says, all I'm trying to do is help people, and everybody's coming against me. Why is that? They're sometimes so twisted they don't even know. It could be, And yeah, why is it? I'm just trying to help people, and, as they're making money off of these things and their material, they can't even, often they may not even see their material motivations. Even may think it's kind of like, multiple personalities. They try to create that in people where they're cut off from their other part. And Paul preached about this. He said people's consciousness is seared. Seared. They can't see that they're acting like psychopaths. Like they don't care about people. They act like machines. Don't care about, get rid of a few people. So what? Eugenics and all that. These guys are, think, he's just, So anyway, that's going on. So you pick a side. Either you surrender to the evil being taught as good. This is what they're doing, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is really good for you. And an intelligent person analyze what's good for me. What? I don't want to be tracked. I don't want to be to do things in my body and change my DNA. And you're saying that's a good thing? And I have no choice in the matter? Is that a good thing? Yeah. What is this? That's good for me. Why? I have to believe you're forcing this on me and manipulating me and all that. That's really good. And people think, yeah, that's very good. The masses think, yeah, that's very good. They tell me it's good, therefore it's good. Okay? And now the more intelligent people see the good people, the ones that have more goodness, more demigod type stuff, they say, well, that's bullshit, man. See, so then they fight. No, I want to fight for my freedom. Okay? and see, like in the Bhagavatam, there was a certain point, it was the demons had more power. And it's the same thing now. The demons have more guns, they have robots now. You think these patriots, these patriots go, oh, we're going to defend ourselves and this. And they already got that handled here. The demon is very strong now. They got the robots now. Robots will come right out there and just mow the patriots down. There's no big, they just send out the robots. What are you going to do against a robot? Big ones. Saw that one. Huge, strong, bulletproof. And then out of their things, you see out of that RoboCop thing, they have these, big bullets like that, that big coming out. What are you going to do? Okay? Demons are very strong. Okay? So you can, I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight all this, So really, the only real option, practical, is transcending it. That means you got to meet those who have transcended it. You got to be in a society, and that goes for religious people. You got to get serious, man. Anybody in religion, anybody in Vaishnavism, man, has your guru, has your society, that's your sadhu sangha. Have they transcended this? Or they, I'll put the mask up. Got the masks on, and we're just doing what the government wants. Are you in a society like that? They ain't very strong. You're just surrendering to it like the masses are. Or are you fighting it? Okay? See, good and evil ain't strong enough to overcome this. We have to get the grace of the Lord, and not the religious Lord, the scientific one. You chant his name in a society of ecstatic devotees who have the shelter of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya or Jesus, scientifically you will transcend this. No religious bullshit. It's a science. Didn't Prabhupada say this is a science of Krishna consciousness? And if you do the Vaidhi process that he started, and you do it, in due course, in some lifetimes, you'll transcend. Okay? Now, if you go to the next stage, authorized by the Prabhupada, actually, and the disciplic line and Krishna, like here, you transcend it in this life. Okay? You start to relish intimate communion with God. Hey, man, who can overcome somebody that's tight with God? The person who's created all this. Who's in control of all this. He can reverse this or that or anything he wants. Devotees, they don't care. Hey, man, just have your will here. Whatever you want, man. But, hey, let's you and I be buds. Stay buds. Go deeper in that. Bud? friend, intimate friend. Imagine having that kind of Lord on your side. And he wants to give this to everybody, but you got to hear the message. Are you ready to say uncle and that you're going to give up? You're trying to fight this thing or trying to surrender to it? Are you convinced that you don't have the power to do this on your own? Yeah, one guy, he's a little higher consciousness, but proud. There's one guy, Jesus Christ ain't going to come and do anything. We got to do it. We got to do it. See, pride. We got to do it. Yeah, still faith in the living entities, in Maya. We got to do it. See? We can't. Not like that. See, this is the idea of surrender. This is the real path. Relationship with God, the true God. See? The ecstatic Lord. The Lord is very ecstatic. That's his real self. Satchidananda, man. He's transcended it, right? He's transcended all this. You think he's worried about any of this stuff? So how can we transcend it? We got to, just connect with that. Naturally, you become a devotee of Satchidananda. And you've got the protection. That's the protection of the Lord, is Satchidananda. If you have the Satchidananda Lord's protection, you're going to be naturally ecstatic like the Lord. You do your bhajan and you lift it up into the consciousness of Krishna, the happiness of Krishna, happiness of Lord Chaitanya, happiness of his devotees. See, it makes scientific, logical sense. It's the most reasonable thing to do is to be lifted out of this, because otherwise you're going to be in it. That's what they, in the Bible, they call the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was before Adam and Eve ate that apple, which was the snake's advice. You see, it went against God. See, and that's what people do. They don't know. Now, people don't know how to surrender to the order of God. They don't know. But if you enter sadhu sangha, those who are lifted into transcendental consciousness, you can learn how to surrender back to God. Otherwise, nobody knows clearly or the quickest path. People are going this way and that way, all taught by those who haven't realized the ultimate destination. Or maybe they have, and they just haven't been authorized to teach it because of the conditions of the world. Depends. Anyway, we're authorized to teach the quick path. So, yeah, pick a side, man. Yeah, pick a side. Pick a side of those who have either realized this level of consciousness or those who haven't. And that includes both those good and evil side. See which one will give you happiness, real happy. Even in this, I see people that are Christians but not very strong in this, and they're buckling. I see Vaishnavas that are not very strong in this consciousness, or barely have it, or don't have it at all, buckling. What can they do? Where can they get real shelter? You got to be attached to Krishna to really get his shelter. You have to have some attachment for him. Otherwise, you'll naturally be attached to something in the world. The good people of the world or the bad people, they're more easy to become attached to. To get attached to the Transcendental Lord is next to impossible on your own. But in Sadhu Sangha, very easy. You may or may not attain the Lord on your own, or going through these gurus who haven't attained the Transcendental Lord. It's not showing in their bodies that the Lord is with them and living inside them. You, after some time, maybe some lives, the guru and you will find the real path. The real path is always the devotee, man. When the Lord sends the devotee and says, basically, this is my beloved son, this is my beloved friend, this is my beloved servant, this is my beloved maintainer, this is my beloved, beloved, then you'll be delivered. See, then they're authorized to deliver you. That's conclusive, man. That's Adi Lila, chapter 1. When the devotees are ready to be delivered. Because people, you're in Maya, you can be, there are a lot of devotees here. They're devotees, but they're often weak. They're weakened by the Maya. They need help. They need a big brother, not the kind that's a George Orwell Big Brother, 1984. Or the big brother developing now. See, these are the big brothers that are going to just take you to the slaughtering booth. No, you need the big brother, man, the mature devotee, man, that's authorized, empowered, anointed. With the real message, man, the real word that delivers you. Then when you get delivered, then you go out and you speak, man, then you can help deliver others by your word. That's it. That's what Jesus taught. It's conclusive. See? You become purified by hearing from the devotees, man. So much so that your words, when you chant, it lifts you up. See? And therefore, when you are lifted up by your own chanting also, because it's actually the Lord in you, purified. See, then he comes out, you chant, and then and not only are you lifted up, you lift others up. That's the process of deliverance. Jesus lifted others up by his word. See, his speech, that vibration, because it lifted him up. Yeah, that's how it works here. You see, the conclusive essence of the truth is always the empowered devotee who has realized God in truth. That's the door. It's always been the door, always will be. Otherwise, you're left here on your own. Or with these persons that are acting as gurus. They're only acting, but they're covered by, obstacles. They're like Pharisees we saw. The Pharisees, mundane material still. They can't deliver you. Could that Nicodemus we were watching the movie looked totally mundane, and he was just a Pharisee teacher. Even he couldn't even understand esoteric truths. Jesus said, "You must be born again to enter the kingdom." And this is people taking shelter, and this is what they are like now. Most gurus and teachers, they're not lifted to the transcendental platform yet. Therefore, they think like a material person. How can I enter my mother's womb again? That was Nicodemus, the teacher of the world, and his friends. And that's how people are now. If you're lifted up, look at this. Even my students have more brains, transcendental brains, than so many teachers out there. They have more realizations. Why? Because of the transcendental pose. Why? Because they're coming in the real line. You come in the line when you have faith when you have equal faith in God, in Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya or Krishna, because that's our line, and the bona fide spiritual master empowered, then the purports of the Vedas are revealed. What do you think? What do you think Christina is showing? By her faith in Guru and Krishna, she's getting realizations. That's what it's about. Those are the purports of the Vedas. You look at these truths, and they make sense to you now. She just reported that. See, that's conclusive. See, and the more faith that she and others get in that, in Guru and Krishna, that'll stay and grow. Yeah. And if any that ever gets off, because I've seen it get off, I've seen people move. You can when you're not real solid, you may fall off the path for a bit. Then Krishna will show you. Oh, you see what happens when you lose faith in Guru? Then you get the wrong Krishna or lack of it, lack of understanding. You go back into the material plane. Yeah, it's called Guru Aparad. So the Lord is teaching us. I've done it myself with Prabhupada. I know how that works. Yeah. Main thing is get back on the track eventually. But the Lord, once he gives you a taste for himself, even if you because the Maya is strong. We just need to get stronger. You may go off sometimes, and he pulls you back. I think maybe Tom had a little escapade here. I didn't see too deeply. But it happens. But once you find real sadhu sangha, real, and you may have some problems and this and that, but still you'll get over it, man. The Lord will drag you back by the hair, especially when you become ecstatic. What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't left.
She's not going to take a chance.
I'm not taking my chance.
Not take a chance. Yeah, well, I have to speak to some people. They have these little, what they call episodes. I think Tom just had some episode here. Yeah. So, Krishna is a great diplomat and a very sinful man. And that's everybody, basically, more or less. See? But if you take shelter of the devotees, what are you going to do? You're going to hear about Lord Chaitanya. When you come here, what are you going to do? You're going to hear about Lord Chaitanya from ecstatic devotees. You're going to hear the holy name from ecstatic devotees. And what's that going to do? It's going to eradicate your sin. Otherwise, there is no path that eradicates sin like that. That's the Vedas are confirming all the time. 10th canto, the verse, the pastimes of Krishna, they eradicate all sinful reactions. And they're transmitted by great personalities. They do the greatest welfare work in this world. I would think that's pretty important work to eradicate sin. If you listen to a person who's realized Krishna, your sins are going to be eradicated in the way that no other path will do. No, not even Tony Robbins can eradicate them. With all his pomp and all his money and all that stuff. Not even any of those ISKCON gurus. If they don't chant the holy name with great ecstatic love, they can't eradicate your sins. Yeah, you go into a goat nipple. It has no real milk. Or the milk doesn't, Hey, if they chant, they shouldn't have any problem with me. How dare you say about, well, wait a second, man. We're into conclusiveness. If you, Jaipataka or Radhanath, you chant in ecstasy, do you chant the pastimes of the Lord, not just, nice and flowery and all that stuff, but you chant with taste and ecstasy and bliss? With the tears coming down sometimes. And choking in the voice, showing that that love of God is awakened in you. Well, if you do that, man, you can deliver so many people because that's conclusive, man. Otherwise, you're inconclusive. I don't give a shit what you don't like or don't like about this preaching. I'm into conclusiveness. Are you like Madhavendra Puri and Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami? Do you have that same transcendental Lord awakened in your heart? And when you chant in ecstasy and have realizations like them. Otherwise, you're not delivering anybody. Why fool yourself and all these people? There's no time to be fooling people. Are you like where you are chanting in ecstasy like Madhavendra Puri and Lord Krishna or the disciplic line comes to you and said, now because of your ecstatic love, I'm going to deliver the world? Well, that happened here to this fool. And any other deliverer, anybody empowered, it's got to happen. Jesus Christ, it happened. This is my beloved son who I'm pleased you listen to him now. Okay, that's conclusive. That's the way it works. It's always worked like that. Prabhupada said that. He had dreams. His guru came to take sannyas and preach. Okay? And here, even more so, people getting delivered fast now. You're going beyond Varnashram Dharma, huh? Way beyond. Why? Because it's been ordered, man. It's authorized. Are you a guru like that? If you're not, well, then fool yourself and fool your neophyte disciples, because that ain't conclusive. That ain't in Prabhupada's books. That ain't in the example of the real deliverers in this world. You got to be authorized. That's why it works here.
Yeah. You're taking shelter where it's not conclusive, you're going to get an inconclusive result, right? It's like you're trying to bake a cake, you don't follow the formula, you don't get that cake. Well, the formula is what we're just saying there. It's all in the books. You gotta be in sadhu sangha, in a society of devotees. If you're not awakened, or maybe you're a little awakened, but you need the strength, you need to be in sadhu sangha to especially now, to overcome this bullshit going on. Are you kidding? How are you going to do that alone? You're going to be mowed down. We have the strength of sadhu sangha. That's why anybody leaving what's going on here, you're crazy. You're a little bit you're touched in the mind. It's not even, especially now. You have a huge society of demoniac persons that are speaking deceitful lies and cheating and all this, and then you got these weak demigods trying to fight it. See? Here, we're transcending it. You won't even care about, oh, you mow the body down. Who cares, man? Yeah, I'm preparing. You know, even the demigods, they're preparing, storing their food and storing their money, getting cryptocurrency, getting gold, getting this. They're doing that. See, like that. How are we preparing? Sadhu Sangha, man. This is the best preparation. Awaken the spiritual body. Activate it, man. And then nurture it in Sadhu Sangha, hearing, chanting, remembering. Hey, man, that's the best preparation. How many of these people know that? You know, some know a little bit. One guy is, well, you know, I meditate a little bit to get my, you know, hey, man, that ain't strong enough. Meditate on what, on who, and why, and where's your conclusive understanding of the absolute truth? You need to connect with the disciplic line, otherwise they ain't strong enough. Little meditation here and all that, and still they're going to mow you down here. The modes of nature, the demonic thing, just mow those demigods down right now. Here, you know, this is the most practical way, is you connect with those who are connected with God. I don't care if they're Christians or Vaishnavas. If they're strongly connected, they're big brother, the kind of big brother that you really need, then that's the place to be. Now, mature in devotion, then that's the place to be. You get activated and your spiritual body will be nurtured, and now you're getting prepared. Otherwise, if you die without the activation and the nurturing of the spiritual body, you're not prepared. I don't care how much gold you got or cryptocurrency or food stored. You're failed. You're failure, man. You failed in life. What's the big? Your body survives a little bit longer because you have some food stored. And you get to see all this bullshit and heads chopped off and all this. Oh, they got these guillotines already in America, man. Plenty. Does that strike a little fear in you? Well, hey, better get prepared, man. Come here, man. You won't even know guillotines, no guillotines. So what? Paul got his head chopped off and a lot of these others. So what? Do you think it worried him? He had the Lord. See? He had a spiritual body activated. He worshiped the Lord in ecstasy. He was out of his mind for God. See? Out of your mind. In bliss and ecstasy and rapture. That's preparation. Who's thinking like that? Any Vaishnavas thinking like that? Are you preparing like that? Have you know about activating your spiritual body yet? Is Jayapataka teaching you that? Radhanath teaching you that? Or any guru teaching you that? And can do that? Or not just talking about it? Okay. Now, is this making sense to anybody? Is it making sense to you? You go. How about you guys? 15 of you out there. We got a big long line of people up there.
Okay.
Yeah. See? Yeah. So that's the bottom line. So I named some names. If you're like what I'm saying, then should be no problem because Guru is one. Otherwise, there's controversy, right? Oh, I don't agree with you. Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm sorry, but the book agrees with me. And people who are having devotional experiences, they may agree. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Otherwise, how are we going to get out of this? We need the help of the disciplic line, man. We need these books. We need real sadhus, and we need a real guru. See? And then from a real guru and real shastras, real sadhus are there, and those sadhus become real gurus too. See? It's not so hard. The essence of truth is very simple. See? But the Maya is very complicated. She's a mesh of complications. Complicates everything. Get in your mind. The mind is all that complicates everything. Okay? Got to get out of your mind. See, you start worshiping in ecstasy, you transcend the mind. Then the mind says, "Oh man, I don't like this speculation thing. It's like I want to rest in the bliss." See, of conclusive understanding. Just rest in that truth, man. Just taste that. See, the mind starts to link like that. And then all of a sudden, it's not your enemy anymore. It's your friend. Matter of fact, it'll wake you up and say, "Hey, man, it's time to do bhajan." I want to rest in there. I don't want to just sit there and dream and all that stuff. I want, you had enough rest. Let's do bhajan. Let's get into that bliss, man. It's early in the morning, That's what my mind does. My mind is now wants to do this. See, that's why the meditation way is not strong, because they're always fighting. I got to control the mind. The mind is a monkey on my back. I never have that problem. My mind loves the bliss, man, now. See, that's it. And even people's minds are going over it like, what? Your mind wants to do that. Yeah, my mind, see, your mind, that's the great thing about seeing it. The mind, your mind, wants to look, yeah, I want that. See, the mind. See? Yeah, and you start to get experience. Hey, man, when I'm not going for that or in that, like that person, look, my mind's going, boo, just, it's my enemy. See, it's still your enemy? Sometimes. Yeah, it's better now. Because she takes her mind right, and her mind wants to go to the books now. Yeah. So Kamsa, upon hearing that the purificatory process has been performed by me, the priests of the Yadu dynasty may certainly consider all these points and suspect that Kamsa, or Krishna, is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then he might take steps to kill Krishna, and that would be a catastrophe for Kamsa, not for Krishna. Translation. Nanda Maharaj said, "My dear great sage, if you think that you're performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cowshed of my house without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential." Okay? And it's the same thing here. It's very, it's like even Bhaktisiddhanta said this in he talked about organized religion, which basically all Vaishnavism is when you have big masses of people coming. That's okay in the beginning. That's like religion. Big masses of people, lots of ceremonies, fluff and all that stuff. See? But it's still because in that religion, if there's any real bhakti, pure bhakti that shows itself, often the leaders especially, and their followers also, because they're like extensions of the leaders, bewildered still on some level, they don't like it. They want to stamp it out. See? So that's why you see the real devotee. Where was Jesus Christ born? In a cowshed. See? He lived very indiscreetly. He had only his fishermen friends. See? Purifying. He's doing purification. They were getting purified in Sadhu Sangha, but it wasn't in pomp in the big temples or anything, right? They were out there traveling, sitting on around a fire, and he was talking to them and teaching them and sharing stuff with them, and they were getting purified. See, the purificatory ceremony. Same thing here. You notice no big pomp here. We got a camera here and people are coming. No big thing, all the religious rituals are going on in the churches, and they're not even, the demons have stopped that, huh? They're nice. You can't even sing in church now. You think this is just beginning, man. Demons are like that. All in the name of, oh, we just want to help you. Oh, yeah, sure. We just want you to live, as they're killing you, stabbing you in the back. All the demons like that. They're liars and cheaters. They don't, and a lot of times they may not even know. I don't know. Some know, some just they're, the good people, they end up being there, like in the Matrix. These AI machines, they used to come through the people, because they're under their influence. See, and so these masses are their soldiers here, and they'll, as soon as they're like activated too, and they're extended. As soon as you don't wear a mask, and they come and attack you, literally. Don't you know this is Kamsa's law here? Put the mask on. Otherwise you're endangering the community. Therefore, we should do something about you. Right? They're doing that sometimes. Yeah. Or whatever it is. It's just all these things that are, harmful to the body, and made up stuff, and they're lying and exaggerating and all kinds of shit, man. It's in that way, it's a hoax. Here, there's this big pandemic. Here, this is 6 months into a pandemic. Why am I so fucking healthy? Why am I, most of my friends? And then you just walk through a store and somebody says, well, you don't have a relative, that has got this. And I know 2 people. And if you actually go into it, find out, they might have something else, or they don't even know. They're so dumbed out and believe anything these hospitals say or doctors say, that all have bacterial motive because they want the money. They get $39,000 to put you under the thing. So they're going to tell you all kinds, and a lot of people just believe anything their doctor says, right? Anything the politicians say. Yeah, and so you can't even know from that. Can you imagine what people should be dropping down like flies? Where are they all? I have to see all these made up images. They're made up, and they always make sure you see they're going with the ambulance and the person's there. You don't even know if there's a real body. And they've shown there's all kinds of lies and stuff going on. This is demoniac stuff. The demons are like that. So it's good. That's why Bhagavatam's good. You just understand their nature and don't have to believe in it. See, so Nanda Maharaj said, my dear great sage, if you think that performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of the second birth here in the cowshed. And that's basically what we're doing. Okay, this is not the second. So one level you could look at the Varnashram thing. You get a sacred thread, and give the second birth like that. But here, the second birth is real, spiritual level. It's done more in secret here, in a sense. Even though we're blasting it all on Facebook, most people don't give it any mind. Okay? Like on one level, Kamsa kept people from going to Vrindavan. because Krishna didn't want people. He didn't just want anybody just to go in there and disturb the pastimes. So Kamsa, see, everything is under the control of the Lord, even the demoniac stuff, even that stuff going on now. It's just the modes of nature, and he's using it for his pastimes. And so Kamsa, on one level, was serving Krishna by keeping people out of there. There was an order: nobody go to Vrindavan, otherwise Kamsa would kill you. See? So that level, there's, so this is the idea. If you want to, you have to transcend this. If you want to be true, if you want true safety and freedom from fear is, or to be safe, to be really, you know how they saying, oh, we're doing this so you can be safe. But it's not. This is what kind of safety is happening now. Can you imagine? It is so duplicitous. We're doing this so that you can be safe. What do you think?
I'm not taking shelter anywhere but here.
Yeah. You see, they're saying we're doing this so you be safe, and then we see the most unsafe things happening. People losing businesses, people dying, people flipping out, people committing suicide. What kind of friggin' safety are you giving us, people? What kind of lying politicians they're doing? What kind of safety are you giving? Anybody who believes in you is fool number one. And most people are. The masses are. They believe they're walking around the campgrounds with masks. They believe in Fauci. Whoa, anybody. My blood boils if I don't see with people with masks. Okay. Yeah. Whole point is get people more sick and let them fall down because of lack of oxygen. Isn't that what it's so fucking obvious? The whole thing is lack of oxygen getting to the blood, and the best thing to do is put a mask on them and have all kinds of problems happen. See, these kinds of things are going on. I mean, I don't believe in it. If you guys believe in it, it's up to you. So yeah, the second birth. See, this is what we're working on. They become born again. Like Jesus said, you must be born again to enter the kingdom of God. See, born again, you have to have the spiritual body activated. That's the second birth, the real one. See, most people in ISKCON and all these groups, they got the thread and they got the fire, banana fire. Have they been really born again? Have they got that second birth? They only have a Brahman thing. Now, that's external bhakti. You're practicing. Jesus came to give the real second birth, where you're the birth of your spiritual awakening. Hey, that's what we're here to do, the birth of the spiritual body. Awaken that so you can taste this transcendental ras. So you can taste the ecstasy and chanting, being lifted up the evils of this age. Okay? So that's why it's done in a more informal setting, because those formal persons aren't ready for it. They don't even know what it is. It's like back then. So, that's the way the Lord works. Even in Vrindavan, it was very informal. The worship they did it was just chanting and ecstasy and kirtan. They were all ecstatic and everything, and the student community wanted to stomp it out. So the Lord left for a while. They wanted to, stop him from chanting and ecstasy, throw his where he was at Srivasa's house. They wanted to pick up that house and throw it in the Ganga. That's the religion. That's the student community. See? Those are the persons, they're not born again. They don't even know the value of this. Well, we're here to teach all about these things. Yeah. If, again, so the Lord has given us some motivation now. People need a little motivation. So this is part of the service of the Lord, this whole thing. Get people, light a little fire under their buttocks. Otherwise, how are they going to change? Look, you can imagine, I've been looking around these people. They live a life and then they die without any spiritual understanding. Well, just happy with my nice house and my government pension, government job, live a nice mundane life, and they think, well, this is all life is about. Well, sometimes you need, this will like motivate you, maybe like, hey man, I thought I had shelter here. I thought I had a shelter in my nice house, right? Nice house, lots of stuff in it. It's my shelter, it's the house and stuff. Big farms. What happens, and money and boats, and what happens when your wealth is taken away by this communist Marxist thing coming? That's what they did. In China, they just took all the wealth. They come over there and take all the farmland, just everything becomes nationalized. Gets you motivated, huh? Well, I thought I had shelter in my house, in my government job, and they say, oh, this is taken away. Where am I going to go? Well, how about the shelter that you don't need any physical thing much, unless just to keep the body alive? Whatever shelter you get is fine. But what about this shelter? How about the shelter for the spiritual body, which is Krishna, God? Hey, people are looking for these houses. We have Govardhan Hill as our shelter here, really. We got the physical shelter, but the real shelter is the shelter of the spiritual body, which is the Lord himself, his pastimes, Govardhan Hill. The Lord's pastimes is our shelter, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? We can sit and chant these verses every day. I say, watch her, man. And she says, right there in the taking shelter, the pastimes of the Lord. Is it a shelter?
I have a crazy mind.
Yeah.
My mind demands things. I have to.
You see, she's motivated. She's motivated because they find the mind shelter ain't very good. It's fickle. So need this. I gotta have this. It never won't shut up, man. Until you put it on the Lord, and then, after a while, it gets, okay, let me just do this. I may have to start a new one. Let's see. I'm having some technical things with this phone. It's doing weird stuff here. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, close app. Okay. Yeah. I think my thing is filled up. It's still doing weird stuff. All right, let's see how that works. Yeah, if this goes off, I'll just start a new one. Yeah. So, perform the purifying process of the second birth here in the cowshed of my house without knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential. It really is. It's essential that we have the activation of our spiritual body. Otherwise, our life is more or less fruitless, really. Okay, you get if you get like a human birth and stuff like that, if you're pious and all this, but real fruit is spiritual fruit. This is what we have. We have this now. We have this potential now. The message is here for that. So why not go for it? That's why this message is that Lord Chaitanya preached like it's imperative. That's why he said, like Prabhupada said, he's making Brahmins and all this. But, with what was there 500 years ago, pure devotional service and ecstatic love was being given. So he said, even, to be a perfect Brahmin, you can't even purify yourself or anybody else. That wasn't Prabhupada's preaching. He was praising, because basically the consciousness was so low, they have to start somewhere. Oh yeah, like bring people from ignorance and passion, try to bring them to goodness at least, somewhat, which is still very hard. hard work, you know. But Lord Chaitanya was here with this kind of bhakti, and it was his desire that it be preached, and then he started to preach like this level: Shuddha Bhakti topmost, meditate on that, be with real devotees, and that are talking about Krishna's transcendental pastimes. See, was the path then. That's the path again now. Yeah, that's why I poo-poo this other stuff, just like he did. So you got to understand the perspective. It's like Jesus also, he did the same thing. He said the kingdom of God is being accessible now through him, through his message being given by God. It was God's words coming through him. You know, give out this Holy Spirit. Be born again, transcendentally born again. I have found a big one in the garden. Now I can jump up and down during class like you, Guru. Yeah, you see? I bounce more, you know, not a ball. Kind of looks like jumping, I guess. We're cheating a little bit. So Gargamuni said, this child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. See, that's the essence, man. When you're with a real devotee, then you become activated. Your spiritual body is activated, and then Krishna's name and the transcendental qualities of Krishna's name, Lord Chaitanya's name, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, Krishna's pastimes, give you happiness. That's the essence, man. If you're with a teacher or a guru who doesn't get real happiness from Krishna's transcendental name, which is symptomized by how the expressions that are happening in their body. If they're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare, something official, see, something ceremoniously. It's like we saw Nicodemus, very ceremonious. But hey man, where are you showing that you have the happiness of God? You got to prove that, man. It's the same thing. You can watch these Jesus movies, and you see the Pharisees. They're mundane. They're like officially looking with the nice hat and all that. But where is the real official that you're really happy when you chant the transcendental name of the Lord? And where's the proof of that? Where are those ornaments, man? Where are the tears, the ornaments of tears, of laughter, choking the voice, great, conclusive understanding, deep realizations and revelations? Hey, where are those ornaments? Hey, people, this is the thing. It's always been this problem. You know, people are mundane. Religion is mundane, motivated, can't lift off the ground. Oh, they have to make big shows, have to put on nice dhotis and tilak and all that. Can't get off the ground. This is the essence, man. This child, the son of Rohini, will give happiness to his relatives. That happiness is transcendental, right? It's bhakti, it's pure, it's sacred. It's purifying, it's medicinal, it's antiseptic for the disease of birth and death. See? That's the thing. The persons to be around are devotees who get transcendental happiness from Krishna's transcendental name, which are symptomized by tears, choking the voice, and the many other symptoms. You can see, wow, it's so nice. I'm with Krishna by the sound vibration of his name. Wow! Hey, man, there you go. Now you're thinking straight if you're thinking like that. That's conclusive. See, you even indirectly understand things that are directly stated. Inferred. See, this is inferred. Oh, I see. The Krishna is also his name. He's not manifest pastimes now, but he's also his name. So if I'm around a person who is getting transcendental happiness from the name of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and their pastimes, which are none different than him. Wow, I found the lottery. I won the lottery, that association. Because just from that association, sadhu sangha, of those who are naturally attracted to Krishna, I will attain that also. I will become like that. I will also become increasingly attracted to Krishna's transcendental qualities. Otherwise, what am I doing Krishna consciousness for 20, 30, 40 years? What? To become proficient in milking cows and building big farms and big temples? No, it's all about becoming attracted to Krishna's transcendental name to the point of tears and ecstasy, which shows you perfection. And it's through those kinds of devotees that people attain Vrindavan. That's a real disciplic line in a nutshell. Simple. What's the difficulty in understanding that? Okay. Taking shelter of people that have they're still absorbed in complexities. They speculate on the essence of truth still in Prabhupada's books. $8.29, yeah. Yeah, they can demonstrate all they want. You think, see, if people have faith. They have faith in the we still. See? And you'll see, they don't give a shit about those demonstrations. People still have faith in the big demonstration that we will overcome that way by our own strength. You can have the strength of armies upon armies upon armies, and you still won't overcome. This has been destined, man. They've been working on this for thousands of years. They got technology you have no idea. They can mow down crowds like that with their machines now. They have these EMF weapons, man. They have up in satellites, everything. Better this kind of preparation. And everybody will see that ain't going to work, man. They say, yeah, strength in numbers and all that. Yeah, numbers of people in Maya still can't overcome with it. It's too strong. Okay? This you can't hear. It's like the Battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna said, Arjuna, who do you want? You want my armies, or you want me? Because if you pick me, I'm going to give all my armies over there to the other side. And Duryodhana picked the armies. Oh, I'll take the armies. Yeah. Oh, how stupid Arjuna is. He's just taking Krishna. Yeah. Well, look who won the war. Hey, it's no different now. You want to take strength in numbers, you have faith in that, get a big thing and go ahead and work on it, get all those people out there. You think you're going to overcome that way? I'll just pick Krishna. I'll pick awakening the spiritual body and nurturing the spiritual body. I'm putting my bet on that. That's my preparation here. And whatever comes the way, comes the way. Okay. I personally, looking at all these different angles, makes more sense to me. Yeah. Prabhupada's books, these pastimes have given me life. Has given me direction, given me everything. Inspiration, love, devotion, everything. Why not just continue to rest in that? Everybody else, you go and rest in your gold and cryptocurrencies and go store up all that food and everything. I'll still do this. Go out there and hoard. That's even the governments are doing. The governments are buying up all the food and all that stuff. We got no place to store it. It's too much. It seems too much energy. You got to go. You got to get a place. And all. I finally too much. I'll prepare this. I'm just going to go for it this way, man. Just sadhu sangha, hearing and chanting, just keep taking shelter, and thank you, Lord, for the opportunity and the motivation to do it. It's like, it's now, I feel like Maharaj Pariksha given motivation to do it, because now time is short. You can see it in many ways, So what am I going to do in this time? That's what he was. I know I got 7 days. What am I going to do in those 7 days? What are you guys going to do? What am I going to do? What are you guys going to do in this short time that we have? If you don't think it's short, hey man, 80% of the world, they have slated for extinction. 80% of America. I don't think this is far off. I don't think this is speculation. They've been doing it with these chemtrails and fires and fuel. But what are they doing that for? Why? Okay, so what are you going to do? Say whether you have 7 days or 17 months or 2 years or 3 years, what are you going to do in those days? Going to cultivate big families and get absorbed in that and making lots of money? What does that have to do with a spiritual awakening of our body? Okay? So anyway, my bet is on this, and that's why we do this. It was great, man. At least you go happy. I liked it. I want to go, in an ecstatic mood. If the body is going to go, they want to mow it down or something. I just want to be ecstatically communing with God. And he may or may not do something. Maybe he says, okay, yeah, it's done. You're done. Enough preaching. Come back. Or go over here. Yeah, and he says, yes, the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna is better than all the bunkers and people. Exactly. See this, our spiritual body needs to be sheltered, and the material body, it's like, yeah, okay, it's here. It's like we can't really control how long we're going to live, or, we think we have this idea, we think we can, but, better to give shelter get the shelter let the spiritual body get shelter. And that's Krishna. God is the only shelter for that. And you feel it. You feel happy in that. You can't feel fear and devotion and love at the same time. In ecstasy. When you're ecstatic, how can you be in fear? People are in fear. We have an alternative for people. The masses have an opportunity. They're in fear and panic. And the politicians and the mass media that you believe in, they can't get you out of it. They put you in it, and they keep you in it because you believe in their word. I tell you, believe in this word being preached here. You're going to get out of fear and panic. You're going to be ecstatic. You're going to be free, set free. You won't even care about this thing, and you'll see the whole, how crazy it is that people are doing that. They're not getting real safety. You believe in that word, their word, the mass media's, more, and then you'll be in fear and panic, and you won't be able to think straight. You'll be real foolish. But here you get into this, and you think, how foolish was that? I believed in their word. Words of liars, hypocrites, motivated, they're desiring, they're probably in fear too. The mass media, they come up to the mass media and say, you must say what we want you to say, or we're going to take your job away, maybe even worse. In these days, who knows? See, so they're in fear and panic because they don't want to lose their job or, whatever else, maybe their life. And they put people in fear and panic because that's what, that's their line, disciplic line, fear and panic. That's what I see. You could see who's listening to the mainstream media. They're believing what they're saying. Yeah, wear a mask, and when you're out there in the cars, I've seen people driving in cars and with masks on. See, it's all the word. It's whose word do you depend on? That's why you see people who depend on the word of Christ very strong, if you really are a devotee of the Lord. Okay. Here you go. Read some. Turn your little light on, maybe.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. You're good.
Gargamuni said, "This child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental
See,
qualities."
all happiness. This is the secret. People are looking for very happiness and this and happiness and that. Happiness. Krishna is all in one. Happiness. It's like all your desires are fulfilled. See, everything gets covered by Krishna. See, in a good way, in a transcendental way. It's like, this is what I've been looking for, is this connection, this communion. See, that's how we give up fruitive activity. People are looking for that happiness by doing fruitive things. What do you think that Bill Gates and Fauci, they think their happiness is attaining their goal? Attaining some goal of money. Even Bill Gates, with all this trillions of dollars, still thinking, listen to him. We just use him for an example. Thank you very much, Billy Gates. Thank you. Yeah, you're an example of what not to do. Or what happens when you don't have God in your life. Real God. You're like that. You got billions of dollars and you want more. And you're thinking, yes, I like turning deals. Okay? Doesn't matter how much money, you just always a new deal. You want more deals. Yeah, I made $1 billion deal. He's like, yeah, this vaccination thing is a great money maker. You see, thinking money, and you believe people like that. Materialists. Yeah, they don't care about you living or dying. They want to turn a profit. And maybe they have other goals. Yeah, this fits into my goal of eugenics, man. Yeah, people are going to die from this, of course. Some people, they'll just get paralyzed. Experiment a little bit on them. They don't give a shit. See, materially motivated persons. See, only those who worship the Lord in ecstasy start to get free of fruit of desire. Material fruit of desire. It's just like, ooh, who wants that? Who wants to act for personal motive? Like, well, I'll do this so I can benefit, it's yucky. It really is. Go ahead.
Therefore, he will be known as Ram. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj.
Stop. I'm going to read this here. Mm-hmm. So Yamuna and me, Ranga says, Yamuna and me watched a film last exactly about what you are talking about. We are helping you, but if you act out, you will be killed. We are helping you, but if you act out, you will be killed. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific, but full of mysteries. See, please hear attentively what I shall speak to you. See, so that's the process. You hear attentively what the devotee speaks, or what the Lord spoke at that time. See, because with attentive hearing, that's how you get purified. For transcendental knowledge about me, about Krishna, is not only scientific, but also full of mysteries. Okay? So the Lord helps the devotee reconcile all these, or these paradoxes and mysteries. He imparts real information. And if you listen, then you get it too, and you get purified, and then you get revelations. This is a disciplic line. If you're not in some kind of line like this, were you getting this result, man? Jeez, you really missed the boat. Yeah, go ahead.
He will be known as Sankarshan.
Oh, another thing here. I really like your lectures, but someone manipulates this icons or smiling faces and hearts really dull. And not dull, not for me, this quality. This shouldn't be done. Wrong picture. Sometimes I like. Yeah, whatever. Don't worry about it. There's an old saying, don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah. But anyway, what are you going to do what you do? Better to listen attentively, and not worry about all these things they're doing. Yeah. Okay, in my opinion, this simply criminal behavior, even from Facebook, because it overrates emotions and then. Yeah, well, see, again, what are you trying to do? Right the wrongs? You can get into that. It takes a lot of energy and work, and then you get into moral things, and just here. Anyway, whatever. Yes, I had an episode again. Yes, so true. The best path is to eradicate sin as here. Yeah, I mean, sin is these things that block the truth, block our experience of God. Again, at least 20 smiling faces and hearts were sent from the internet pirates towards Maharaj in the last minutes in my name. But again, see, maybe you're getting a little too involved in I, me, and mine. In my name. Forget about my name. When you think of my name, think of Krishna. Everything in his name. And you get free of this I, me, and mine. It's false ego stuff. Self-importance. How important are we're insignificant. The Lord is significant. All this stuff is going to go on in Facebook. Otherwise, you get absorbed in, you got like what do they call what's kind of a pride thing. Yeah. So what? Faces are going this way in your name. Let's get this is false ego of thinking in my name. See, just get more absorbed in Krishna, in hearing about Krishna like this, and you'll transcend this thing, and it won't irk you so much. It's just self-absorption. It's not. It's coming from me, and it shouldn't be done. And it is being done, and so what? Sweating the small stuff. See, and that'll make you inattentive. See, now your mind's meditating on all these things. Trying to, hey man, so how can you listen attentively? See, so the more you let that go and just get absorbed in Krishna, and it does what it does, you'd be better off, I think. And that goes for others. Don't get so much into, it's happening, so what? Listen, hear the discussion. Okay. Therefore, I prefer now to avoid, sadly, to listen to his lectures as a live broadcast. For me, it's not fair. Definitely look his lectures at. See, again, boy, you're letting that, are you kidding? You're letting that smiley thing? See, this is all false ego. Better to hear the lectures live and let that go. Let your, that's you're being misled by this, misled by the false identification. Let the smileys are going on. Big deal. Better to see the live lectures, man. Don't let that deter you. Yeah. Follow Govinda's. He doesn't seem to be bothered by it. Follow the footsteps of those. Don't worry about that stuff. Yeah, so, it's Facebook, Facebook is Facebook. At least we got this. Okay, so anyway, go ahead and read some more. Boy, I got a lot of things here. Okay, again, manipulate are not fair, therefore proven. Manipulated icons are not fair. Just friggin' icons. Don't look at the fucking icons. Who cares about icons? Listen to the word. That's the main thing. Why you focus? See, this is illusion. It's getting you to focus on the illusion. Icons, and it's not fair. What? Fair, unfair. All that's an illusion. Maya. Anyway, the real situation is fair, unfair. If you're meditating on it, you're focused on that, you're not getting the benefit of this. So it's actually better that you do this with the icons, gives you a chance to understand this, what's going on. Focused on this, it's not fair, it's unfair, fair and unfair. This is all in the world of duality. Yeah. See, he's just focused on that. Oh, icons about me, I'm not, I, me, mine. Let it go. Move on. Deeper, The icons keep going, so what? Anyway, go ahead. Oh boy, anyway, hundreds of questions. I can't believe it. Okay, go ahead. Just read that.
Chatting. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumes 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. And now he appeared in a blackish color in another Dwapara Yuga. He appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of Sukha, a parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna.
See, all incarnations. See, that's why I say you don't have to independently petition Nishingadev or this incarnate, that incarnate. Everything is assembled in Krishna. See, that's conclusive. So when you're chanting Krishna's name, you don't really have to chant. I mean, Prabhupada started, everything, chanting Nishinga, all that stuff, because people are like that. They don't understand conclusively things. So now we're introducing another level. They have conclusive. See, all incarnations are within Krishna. So you can just chant Hare Krishna, and all these things will be rectified if the Lord wants to overturn it. Tampa Cruz, I always get manipulated by the mind in my quest to eliminate my suffering to achieve liberation. Then I get obsessed with achieving liberation. Yin-yang effect. That's my karma in this birth. I can always count on your lectures for inspiration. Thank you. Filling up the tank. So I always get manipulated by the mind in my quest to eliminate my suffering to achieve liberation. So yeah, Tamal, this just by simply hearing, you get so purified that liberation is just a side benefit. See, it just comes with the territory. You don't have to think like that has to be your goal, because that's really a chunk change. What you get here is taste for Krishna's name and qualities. And that's called pure devotional service. See, it's pure. There's no material motive in that other than that taste. See, so the taste is, this is so wonderful. I just love, it's like you become like Arjuna. My ears just become like tongues. My ears become like a tongue, and I just want to hear, hear that vibration. See, so you transcend, you go into pure devotional service just by tasting Krishna's transcendental qualities, and that is the most purifying experience. That is the most inspiring thing. That is the most motivational thing. See, and liberation just follows naturally. Okay? Yeah, so that's all it is. So that's, if you're getting taste for the lectures, that's very good, because you just go on hearing and just relishing that, and then you'll see that even after a while you start chanting, in ecstasy and hearing and chanting the verses and everything, and getting like really inspired if you're not already. So yeah. So anyway, thank you for appreciating. Bhakti Tom, don't follow the icons, follow the source. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appears previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you. And by
say that again.
To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you.
Just comes with the territory. See, that's why Krishna comes here, and Lord Chaitanya and the incarnations, so that we become attracted by his transcendental qualities. And automatically everything's auspicious. He just automatically acts auspiciously for those who are attracted to him. This is really the simple secret of that truth. Otherwise, when we're attracted to the world, everything becomes inauspicious to us. We're attracted to man, woman, money. See, that's we're attracted, right? Therefore, our life becomes inauspicious. Even in the mode of goodness, you could be a good Brahmin and everything, but if you're not attracted to the transcendental qualities of Krishna or his devotees, which is the door to that attraction, then your life is still more or less inauspicious. It's not enough. Look at Daksha. He was a demigod, Prajapati up there. And because he was not attracted to Krishna's transcendental qualities, he was only attracted to the ceremonies of being a Brahmin. And therefore, when a real devotee came before him, he was unattracted. Matter of fact, he was offensive. See? Therefore, his life became inauspicious. But that was good for him, because he learned very quickly by that offense. His life became very inauspicious, as well as those who believed in him. Okay? Therefore, they learned and became pure devotees. Him and millions of demigods. Simply, how did they become pure devotees? Simply by accepting Shiva as topmost. See, Shiva represented the transcendental potency, man. And simply by doing that, you please God, by believing in the transcendental potency. That was Jesus Christ's secret of success. And even now, people believe in the Lord's real devotees that surpass these persons acting as authorities in this world. Okay, so when you get a living representative of the transcendental potency in this world, and if you begin to believe in what they preach, by hearing from them. And you're getting purified. See, then the Lord, you please the Lord very quickly, and then you start to have experiences like Christina. See? You start to become very attracted to the real Vaishnavas. First, it starts with a living devotee. That's why the Guru, it says, when you're ready to be delivered, you meet the bona fide spiritual master. See? So so people are on their way to being delivered with Prabhupada, but they need shiksha, because you got to come to the transcendental position. Like we'll use Christina. She's having ecstatic experiences. See, the Lord is giving Himself to live inside her heart, awakened state. So there's communication. And there's nothing like that. Ask her, man. She'll tell you, man. There's nothing like that relationship in this world, nor will there ever be a better relationship. Nothing beyond that. No other association better than getting that relationship with that most dear and intimate friend awakened. Nothing better than that. Nothing beyond that. I haven't found anything beyond that. The scriptures say there's nothing beyond that, and it's still my experiencing after so many years. To attain liberation, as the sadhaka takes so much hardship, here just by listening you become awakened to the highest level. Yeah, so the Lord wants to make it easy. That's why we just preach Sadhu Sangha like He preached. He said, hey, Lord Krishna, hey, conclusive verse from Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna says, I'm not attained by pious deeds, by austerities, by renunciation, or by sadhana. Not the kind of sadhana people think on their own. I'm attained in sadhu sangha. See, with realized devotees, real sadhu sangha, not bullshit one, not the practice one, where you have a sadhu who hasn't realized Krishna, a guru who hasn't realized ecstatic Krishna, doesn't get transcendental happiness from chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or Lord Chaitanya's name, and you can't see proof of that. That's their degree. See, is the degree of your awakened devotion, is the degree. Not some paper on the wall or some vote from some group of clerks. Managers, these group of managers of this ISKCON movement decide their guru. Who are they? What degree of devotion do you guys have? Hey, Bhaktivinoda taught these things. Bhaktivinoda said it's not by how many followers you have or anything else. It's how much devotion do you have when you chant the holy names? How much attraction do you have to the holy names of the Lord? The pastimes, how much attraction, how much taste do you have? That's your ornaments, that's your degree. Otherwise everything's Maya, illusion. We shout it down, man. Like the truth. Time to wake up, everybody. We'll just think of us as the rooster. Coo, coo, coo. You cuckoos, wake up. Cuckoo, sleeping in too much. That's why you're wearing masks. You're probably sleeping with a mask. I bet if I went in and opened up the tent, I bet they'd be in there with a friggin' mask on. These fools. That's what you get for believing in demons who's saying they're trying to help you as they're stabbing you in the back. Backstabbers. Anything they can do to trick you. They think, So, good. Madhusudana quotes Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Great. Hey, man, you guys start quoting him too. I like his quotes. He's very good. If anybody possesses greed for the path of Raganuga, he will pray to his good religious preceptor, who after examining his relish will determine the type of bhajan daily with utmost care and eagerness, situated in his own position. Nam Rupa Yurya. Yeah, it gets a little complicated sometimes what he says, but you know what? The bottom line is the first part here. Aspirin, if you have greed, if anybody possesses greed for the path of Raganuga, he will pray to his good religious preceptor, who after examining, so anyway, it gets a little complicated there. I'm not into all, it's just too much for the friggin' mind, very simple. If you're attracted, if you have greed for the path of Raganuga Bhakti, man, you will the devotee will appear before you and worship the Lord in their way. And if you're on page with that, if you like that, just hang out there, man. And automatically you'll become like that. Yeah, that's what I see practically, man. I see my students who are really, they're watching, they're hearing, they're doing this, and they're also starting to worship like that, like this. No big complicated thing, and the Ras and then giving Ras and giving people's their thing. No, the Lord does all of that. He's the gardener in your heart. He awakens his relationship with you and starts teaching you from within. You have to get there and tell you how to do this and that. I don't know any of that stuff. I just sit there and chant Hare Krishna in ecstasy, and whatever Krishna wants to tell me, we discuss. I like that way, man. Very simple. Otherwise, it's kind of external. Oh, the guru's going to tell you. This is why one of my ex-wife, she left. She wanted to get all these complicated instructions that she can't even do. After 20, I can't do all this stuff. I'm just praying that someday I'll get some love. Well, she left the real path, man, for all this complication stuff. Even reading that is so complicated, It does, I just go also by how it's working here. People are getting their relationship with God. I'm very happy with that. They're happy with Krishna showing them things. I love it, man. I don't have to sit there and tell them how to do this. It's all so vitey, tell them how to do all that stuff and this and that. And nothing beyond Krishna obtained through the door, which are the real devotees of the Lord, Sadhu Sangha. That's right. So people follow icon movement. We want worship Krishna conscious movement. Yeah, okay, go ahead, read some.
Okay, I want to repeat that.
Yeah, it's good.
To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you.
See, again, we have to, if you want the way out of this, you got to get into bliss, man. And that's why the incarnations are here. And the devotees, when they're here, they preach about the incarnations, and that's where the bliss is. Without the bliss, you got the world. The bliss of the world is not blissful. It's just limited happiness of the material world. You got to become attracted to the transcendental form of God if you want out of this. The transcendental form. And that's available through his real devotees who are already attracted to that transcendental form. That's why they are able to teach others these things. Their words awaken this. See, born of the word. See, if you look at even the Bible, first chapter of John, see, those who accepted Jesus' word, those who accepted Jesus' word, they were born of that word, not born of flesh and blood. We already did that. See? They were born of the word of God that comes through his devotees. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. See, the Word was with God. See, that Word comes through the devotees. It's simultaneously one and different. See, the devotee is the incarnation of the Word. See, because it's simultaneously God's Word and it's coming through his devotees. It's like the flute. How do you separate the breath from the flute? See, the breath is the Lord's. See, the Lord's breath, and it comes through his flute, right? His flute belongs to him, doesn't it? It's Krishna's flute. Well, that's a devotee, man. The devotee belongs to the Lord, and the Lord says, hey, man, I belong to this devotee, man. I give myself to him. You think you're going to get the Lord like that on your own? That kind of intimacy? Good luck, man. Better to go the authorized way, taught by Krishna, and in disciplic line, retaught. See, re-educated, that truth, same truth, and not rethought out with new speculations by these religious people who take these books and teach something else. No, we teach the authorized path that works. That's why it's the Lord teaching through the devotee, right? By medium, it's really true, these books. You got to find somebody like that, where the Lord, through that devotee, that by medium, is telling you the straight out truth and not lying to you. Like the world is, the Lord's Maya is lying to you all the time. See? Like in religion, they're lying to you if they're still religious. Why does Krishna say abandon religion? Well, you can't do that until you find the truth embodied in the bona fide spiritual master. And then you just take shelter there, and you take shelter of Krishna. Their word is Krishna. As Krishna is, conclusive. Why? Because they worship the Lord in loving ecstasy, like Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Therefore, they have the right understanding and real knowledge. No one else has it. If you don't worship the Lord with transcendental loving happiness like those residents of Vrindavan, you cannot speak very well. You cannot lead people very well. Isn't that what Prabhupada said? One should accept an Uttamadhikari. Otherwise, even a Madhyamadhikari cannot help you very well. Well, Uttamadhikari is you think, Uttamadhikari got to be many lifetimes and all that. Well, it could be in this lifetime. If you just worship the Lord in ecstasy for a long enough time, the Lord will use you. You may have a few knots and all that, doesn't matter, because he will be using you, and people who are looking for Raganuga Bhakti and the real deep path and real intimacy, God will recognize you. Maybe you only have 16 people like we do here, and the masses will be following these mass gurus. They believe in this, like you see masses in the world. They believe in these liars and politicians and mass media, right? We got religion is also a mass movement, isn't it? How many millions of devotees are in ISKCON? How many thousands are in Gaudiya Samiti? Mass movement, right? How many are interested in what we're doing? 16 live. Maybe we got about 30 people. Okay? And gradually, one by one, those who are ready, when they find they lose some faith that the full shelter isn't in ISKCON leadership, it's in it, or Gaudiya Samiti or Gaudiya Math. It's in a real guru, whether they're there or here or anywhere, a person who has realized their relationship with the Lord. They get transcendental happiness from Krishna's name and pastimes. Transcendental shelter. And it's strong, and therefore people can come under that shelter and be delivered. And then you become strong. And then the Lord will come, the devotees come under your shelter. That's a disciplic line, man. You got to make it to the point of strong, you're like unbreakable. convinced. Maya can't convince you now with all her little tricks. Okay, go ahead.
And by his grace only, you will surpass all difficulties.
That's it in a nutshell. By Krishna's grace, by the Lord's grace only. See? That's how the devotee does. That's how the spiritual master surpasses these problems. By their attraction to Krishna, the happiness they get in worshiping Krishna, they surpass all obstacles. That's what you're getting trained for here. Okay? No other way is by grace only we surpass all obstacles. See, this is the preparation, man. You guys, whoever's coming here, you have opportunity, see, to surpass all obstacles by Krishna's shelter, because you'll feel it. You start to chant, and the ecstatic feeling of transcendental happiness starts to overwhelm you. Man. And all of a sudden, how can you be in fear and panic about what's going on when you've got the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, man, who is looking through everybody's eyes and is manipulating the material and energies and spiritual energies. And you've got that shelter. What fear can you have? Okay? That's all in just getting happiness from chanting. Oh, that's the shelter. Happiness in the pastimes of the Lord. That's the shelter. Oh, just one second. Yeah, go ahead and read that.
O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government like now, Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves.
See, Indra being dethroned. See, isn't that basically it? See, we've had more or less kind of a demigod thing, more or less. And so basically decency, human decency is people now that are murderers and liars and cheaters. See, have taken over. Hey, read that first part again.
O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there is an irregular, incapable government.
See, and we got that now. You can see irregular. It's not regular. I mean, it's like you got people that are crazy, that are leading, literally acting nuts, doing the wrong thing and saying it's good for you. It's totally irregular. Anybody that believes these lockdowns works, you're insane. God damn, you're so fucking crazy. I have to say it, man. You're insane. Insanity to think that these lockdowns worked. That means you're in fear and panic. Must be. Because you're not thinking rationally. This stuff didn't work. It destroyed the whole economy, but that's the plan. They got a dastardly plan to just change everything. But anyway, it's part of the will of the Lord. But if you believe in that, all this stuff is slated for eugenics, man. That's what's going on here. But again, as I say, it's under the will of the Lord. But if you believe in it, then you're under that shelter, and it's not very worthy. See? Irregular government. So go on.
Incapable government.
It's incapable of giving the residents real shelter. See, or even basic necessity. Look at this. They're incapable. They think they do all of these things. They have all these material motives and political agendas. How much do they really care about you? They're cared more about their selfish political ends. Anyway, that's what this Maya is. Okay, go ahead.
Indra having been dethroned.
See, any good that's in this world is being dethroned. See, Indra represents the mode of goodness. So this is being dethroned here. And what do we got? What do we got? We got even admitted Satanists. Can you imagine? You know, they found they're in the CIA government. Satanists. I seen they put him. A guy was a Satanist, and he was in the military, like a general type or something. And then in the movies, all of this pedophile, all this stuff is coming out. And the FBI's been covering it up. The CIA's covering it up. What the hell is going on? Who's in charge? Who's dethroning? See, dethroning any decency in this world is being dethroned now. Why? Because it's been ordained. It's been predicted there's going to be a time for this. And is it bad? Is it good? It's neither. It's just the Lord's will of he's having a bad dream, and it's going to motivate a lot of people to take shelter of him in truth. Otherwise, these people, they get so comfortable in the world. And that's just natural. We get attached and really comfortable to these material things. And then sometimes we need a little motivation. So this is how he does it. See, Vedavyas realized the spiritual potency and the material potency. That includes the ignorance and passion, too. The dark stuff, real dark. Side by side, under the full control of Krishna. See, that's why how you get a little detached and just stay what's really important. What's your priority, man? You want to fight this? Or you want to surrender to this? Or you want to transcend this? Pick a side. That's where at that time now. Pick a side. You want to transcend this? Or you want to fight this huge army of demons and demoniac energy that's been slated and been told in scriptures? In both the Vedas and the Bible? Or do you want to transcend it, like Maharaj Parikshit did, like the Christians did with the Romans? They transcended it by having their spiritual body awakened by faith in a real Vaishnava and the real word. And they became spirit-filled, see, and worshiping in ecstasy like we do. Okay, go ahead.
Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves. This child.
So what do we got? Harassment? Do you see any harassment here? Are you being harassed? Wear the mask or we're going to kick you out of the market. You can't buy and sell without a mask. We're just priming you. We're going to shoot you up with some shit, man, that's going to track you and mess your mind up and change your DNA, man. We're just priming you for that, man. Are you being harassed or what? Well, no, I think they're just really trying to help me. You are one big fool. See? The real truth is Bhagavatam. These are the symptoms we're seeing here. Harassment. Oh, no, don't go to church. Oh, man, no church for you. Or just a few people in there only. Oh, and no singing now. Is that harassment? Oh, stay home, man. Don't go out. Now he's no exercise, nothing. Stay in the house, indoors. Save lives. Are you being harassed? No, I believe the government. They just have my welfare in mind. Are you one big fucking fool? Go ahead.
This child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish.
And that's how it's done now. Even now, 5,000 years or 500 years. The Lord appears again by the preaching of a devotee. Real devotee, man. And with the power to make Krishna manifest in the hearts of others. Otherwise, you don't know Krishna. You don't experience that Krishna. Okay? The Lord is re-manifested, reanimated again by his devotees preaching the word. Preaching the real word, not the bullshit stuff in religion out there. These gurus are only practicing. You followers only practicing. You got to meet a real guru who speaks the word that liberates you. The word that awakens that sleeping Lord on the bed of Anantasation in your heart. There, the super soul snoring because he doesn't like to hear inconclusive truth. He doesn't like people that non-devotees with no devotion. He still sleeps, not strong enough to wake him up. When he hears this preaching in the hearts of people, it gets his attention. I noticed that. Because he's doing it. To Brussels, I mean, probably Belgian law. Wow, awesome. I'm trapped in Turkey with an ecstatic devotee and get enthusiastic, and a get enthusiastic husband could be worse. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
This child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbed the rogues and thieves.
So that's it, man. That's the bottom line. You want a way out? You got to get the Lord. You got to get the Lord attached to the Lord. You got to feel happiness in chanting. And that's the best is sadhu sangha with real sadhus and not practice ones. Sadhus who are really genuinely attached to Krishna and have the symptoms of that you can see and be assured that you're not being bullshitted, that are confirmed in the Shastras. Guru Sadhu Shastra, that is Sadhu Sangha. Otherwise, you ain't got Sadhu Sangha. You got a real guru confirmed by the Shastras and the Sadhus, who are getting devotional experience of witnessing, yes, I've been listening to this guy or gal, and I'm getting ecstatic. It's awakening bhakti in me, man. This really works, and the scriptures confirm it. It is a Loctite. Lockstep. This is the lockstep. They got their lockstep, those friggin' demons out there. They're lockstepping you in your house. We're lockstepping this real truth, man, so that you can get out of this mess. You had locked down, you turn the camera on in your house. That's locked down. This is lockstep, man. This is steel trap for Krishna, man. It's like those things you grab, they grab the dirt and then pull it up, with those machines. Bring it up to the spiritual dimension. This is spiritual lockstep. Guru Sadhu Shastra, Sadhu Sangha, man, the real deal, lockstep. Now it's locked tight, for Krishna and for our deliverance out of this mess. Go ahead.
Demons, asuras,
demons
cannot harm the demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on their side.
So the bottom line is, do you have Vishnu on your side? Better than that, do you have Krishna on your side? Or are you citing, this is how you're going to see, man. Hey, man, bottom line, this is test for all of us. Who do we have on our side? Because if you guys out there in religion are siding with the demons in charge with this bullshit out here, and lying and cheating, you're all masked up and having faith in what they're doing. Okay, then you're going to be in that. See, the real demigods, the ones who are really pious, they have Krishna on their side and they feel it. You experience it. Okay? You can have Vishnu also if you're on the kind of the mode of goodness thing, but you really need Krishna now, especially. Go ahead.
Who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate.
See, I like that. Any person or group Okay? So person is guru. They're guru. They're devotee. Okay, if they become guru, the Lord orders them, okay, you go out there and preach. Okay. Now you got a group. So the person was very fortunate, but actually a person that actually has this bhakti wants to share it. You notice even my students are becoming like this. They want others to get it. Naturally. Well, that starts with the guru. He also wants others to get it. See, so any guru, any one person gets it is very fortunate. And any group, hey man, pretty fortunate group we got here. A lot of people getting Krishna, you notice? These are the words of the Bhagavatam. They're conclusive. They're assuring. This shows you you're in the right place. If you see people, maybe you don't have Krishna real strong, but you see people getting Krishna really strong. Hey, assurance. See, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. See, is real Sadhu Sangha. And you show where those symptoms are, then you found real Sadhu Sangha. But I don't think there's that many places. You know, I've seen people talking about Krishna and claiming to be guru and claiming to be sadhus, but I don't see they have the experiences that the Shastra says you should be having. They're not a manifestation of the book. You got to be a devotee book. You got to be, oh yeah, read that again, and I'll show you. This is how it works.
Demons, asuras, cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate.
See, you see those symptoms here listed in the book. That's the bottom line. Because if you do, there you found devotee Bhagavat. Otherwise not. See, that's a book Bhagavat, right? It shows you. It gives you a map of where the territory is. And the territory is the devotee Bhagavat, where if you're in that association, those symptoms described in that book will be there, otherwise not. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Okay? Sadhu, Sangha. This is the essence of the truth. You find that, you're very fortunate, like the book says, and you will feel it. Ask Christina, you feel fortunate, Christina? Or anybody else having that awakening? Okay, feeling Krishna on your side. Do you feel Krishna's on your side there, Christina, and anybody else out there? Because that's how you know you're in the right place. Okay? It's not a pie in the sky. You go to listen to these religious preachers that promise you don't think I've been there. I've been in ISKCON, and I was miserable. I wasn't getting over moroseness or anything. I was morose being there. You know, I have to be regulated and do follow, you know, kind of rituals and ceremonies, and that wasn't enough for me. And they said, oh, just hang on, you know, another year, and then when you die, Krishna will come there, Prabhupada will be there to deliver you and all that. And I was miserable state. It didn't change. I mean, for me, if you're happy with Vaidhi Bhakti, great. Keep doing it until you find its faults. Because there's always, the fault is you won't get this. Because if you get this, they're doing that, great. You know, you're one of the rare persons. But even the Shastra says you won't get this. Did you see any of this kind of worship in there? You know, this kind of ecstatic, these kind of conclusions, this kind of preaching? No, it's just, you know, because it's not gotten that way. You know, you got to find the devotee chanting holy name in ecstatic devotion. And that's how you get it. Okay? You know, it's so funny. I had it from the very beginning. And then I went into ISKCON and put myself under these gurus and teachers who didn't even have this. And no wonder I was. See, I believed in something that was, it's the experience people get. If you believe in something that is less, if you believe in something that's not transcendental, and something, and you don't believe in something that is transcendental, then you are you're less intelligent. See? And so that started with my own experience. I was already in, this transcendental.